Hello, everyone. My name is Hope again. This time I will be teaching you how to play some chord progressions on the guitar. But before we go into playing chords on the guitar, it's important that I explain to you what the different notes or names of the chords that we're going to be playing, especially chord progressions. Now, when you play a major diatonic scale, which is one we already know, what we these notes have numbers, which is the first, this is the first, this is second, this is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Now there's Latin name for some of these numbers. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. But if you don't recognize the notes by those names, you can recognize them by numbers or their technical names. So I'm going to tell you what their technical names are, so that when you're playing the chord progressions, you know them by the technical names, not necessarily by their solfa names, which is what we just did now. The first note is called the tonic. The second note is called the supertonic. The third note is called the mediant. The fourth note is called the subdominant. The fifth note is the dominant. The sixth note is the submediant. The seventh note is the leading note. And then you have the repetition of the dominant tonic. Okay, so tonic, supertonic, mediant, subdominant, dominant, submediant, leading note, tonic. Good. Now that you know what these notes are, the names of these notes are, you need to understand how to play the chords when you are in a song session, for instance. So you're playing a song and the progression of the song goes from the tonic to the supertonic and then the dominant. So you go tonic, supertonic, dominant, come back to the tonic. All right. Now that's just a simple progression. So remember, you need to know the names, technical names of the notes before we can progress to the chord progressions. All right. So now that you know the technical names, I'm going to give you a simple chord progression, which is what a lot of songs go by. We're going to be playing the tonic, the subdominant, and the dominant. Those three. Now we're going to start with C, for instance. This is C, which becomes the tonic. The subdominant will be this way, and the dominant. Okay. However, I know that some of you know that you can play your G like this, right? Or you can play like this. This class is mostly for when you're playing bar chords. That's why I focus this exercise, okay? It's not necessarily for the open chords. The open chords, you can always find the finger positions. But for the bar chords, the finger positions are the same. So I'm going to show you a trick on how to go about it. So let's move away a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start from F. So our tonic this time is going to be F. This is F. Now, when your tonic is on F, your subdominant is going to be on B flat. Okay, so take a look at my finger position, what we have right now. If your tonic is this way, your subdominant will be this way. Okay. And then your dominant can either be this way. So let's play this way. So this is your tonic, subdominant. All right. So whenever you're playing your tonic like this, every time you're playing your tonic like this, and you're going from tonic to subdominant to dominant, you move this way. All right. Now I'll show you a second method of playing both the tonic, subdominant, and dominant. If you're playing the chord of the tonic like this, all right? If your tonic is like this, look at my finger position. If your tonic is like this, your subdominant will be like this. So see why I moved from here all the way here. And then your dominant will be this way. So two types of chord finger arrangement for chord progressions. When the tonic is like this, subdominant, dominant, or your tonic is like this, subdominant, All right. Good. Now you may ask me, how do I know when to play this kind of, when I place my finger like this to play the tonic, play the dominant and subdominant? Good. When the tonic, which is a root note of that chord you want to play, is on your E string. So this is F now on our E string. The inversion you're going to play for the tonic is like this. So when you have the root note on your E string, you play it like this. When the tonic is on your E string, you play this inversion. So you know that you're playing tonic, subdominant, dominant. However, when the mediant, which is the third note, is on your E string, you play this inversion for your tonic. So this is your tonic, this is your dominant, subdominant, and this is your subdominant. Okay? Now there are other inversions, finger positions you're going to play, but I want you to start with this. In the subsequent class, I will show you other types of chords to play from the tonic. We're going to play the supertonic, we're going to play the mediant, we're going to play the leading note. But for this exercise, just learn the tonic, subdominant, and dominant. Okay? And then we will do an advanced program. Check our videos where you can see our advanced program, where you can play other finger positions, finger arrangements for the same progression. All right. But for today, if your tonic is on the E string, you play this way. If your mediant is on the E string, you play this way. All right. Follow us on the other videos. You can share and like and subscribe. Follow us on the other videos to learn the other kind of chord progressions that you can play with the same finger arrangements. All right. Thank you very much.